Shalwar kameez and shirt, clean shaven face or beard, or maybe just a mustache, long hair or short. Wait, pause. Isn't this too much? Welcome to Cultural Change. We all understand what change means, but what exactly is culture? Culture is the collective representation of a population within a given region, shaped by the circumstances they inhabit or reflect upon, whether through sense, reason, or the inherited memory of their history. It is the shape that a person carves into the choice around them, using whatever tools they possess myth, memory, music, ritual, resistance. That we have got that out of the way, let's get into how culture actually changes. Significant drift. Let's go back to those this or that questions. Before these even existed, most people didn't think they would or something, but they do. Why? One word: interconnectedness. As cultures came closer, they began to merge, absorb, and influence one another. What used to be distant now sit side by side. This changed how people dress, think, interact, and even what they choose to reject or embrace. Here we have an interview that talks about this first-hand experience. Interview with Faizan, experiencing different cultures.
Assalamualaikum.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
What is your culture?
तो बेसिकली मेरा नाम फैज़ान है, मैं पंजाब से आता हूँ और मैं जंग से, और मेरा कल्चर पंजाबी है। पंजाबी कल्चर एक बहुत बहुत नाइस बड़ा इसको कहते हैं इंगेजिंग कल्चर है और बड़ा वर्सटाइल कल्चर है। इसमें हम देखना चाहिए हमारा जो मतलब ट्रेडिशनल वेयर होता है वो है शलवार कमीज़, साथ हम पगड़ी लेते हैं और उसके अलावा मुख्तलिफ़ किस्म के चपड़े कह रहा हूँ, चमड़े के हम चप्पल्स पहनते हैं। इसके अलावा हम पंजाबी बोलते हैं, पंजाबी के अंदर हमारे पास मुख्तलिफ़ एसेंट्स आ जाते हैं, हम पंजाबी के भी बहुत सारे रवैये हैं। इसके अलावा हमारा फेवरेट फूल जलेबी है, पुलाव है, इस तरह की चीज़ें हम हमारे पंजाब में बहुत अच्छी हैं।
जी, तो आपने यहाँ पे आके अपने कल्चर से रिलेटेड क्या सीखा है?
हमारे कल्चर से रिलेटेड मैंने यहाँ पे ये चीज़ देखी है, यहाँ पे ख़्वाह कोई पश्तून है, बलोची है, सिंधी है, सब मिल के रह रहे हैं। मतलब एक बेंच पे आपको नहीं पता आपके साथ बलोची बैठा है, पश्तून, सब मतलब बहुत इंगेजिंग हैं, बड़े मतलब एक किस्म से ना फ्रेंडली हैं सब। कोई यहाँ पे वो नहीं है, रेसिस्ट नहीं है कि भाई मैं बलोची हूँ तो मैं बलोची के साथ बैठूँगा, मैं पंजाबी हूँ तो मैं पंजाबी के साथ बैठूँगा। सब बहुत फ्रेंडली और बड़ा नाइस इन्वायरमेंट है।
आपके अपने कल्चर से आपने बोला पंजाब से हैं, तो पंजाब वाले स्टूडेंट्स के साथ आपका कैसा रवैया या फिर उनके साथ कैसी इंटरेक्शन रही है आपकी?
बेसिकली ये तो हर कल्चर को होता है। जब आप किसी और जगह पे जाओ और वहाँ को आपको अपने कल्चर का मिले तो आपको यूँ लगता है कि आपको कोई अपना भाई मिल गया। अब बेसिकली मैं यहाँ पे हूँ, मुझे नहीं लगता पिछले 2 महीने से मैंने किसी के साथ सही पंजाबी बोली है। वो अभी मुझे एक मिला था, वो भी जंग या उसी फैसलाबाद वाली साइड से था, तो उसको आती थी। तो उसके साथ मैंने जब वो बोल रहा था तो मैंने उससे एक लफ्ज़ सुना तो मुझे पता चला कि ये पंजाबी, और फिर मुझे बड़ा खुशी हुई उसके साथ पंजाबी बात करके।
Old is gold. You've heard this before. Old is gold. But is it really? Wasn't the old also the time when division, conflict, and rigidity ruled most of the society? Cultural change has forced us to think differently, to borrow the thoughts and practices of others, to grow, to protect, and to live the kind of life we want to create. Accepting new ideas has made us more tolerant and more aware of others. Let's hear another take on that. Interview with Emil, denial of giving oneself to single culture.
Think about intermixing a culture. Well, it's actually against the first thing that I went, and of course I agree with it. When you intermix cultures, different cultures, you get new perspectives. Perspectives raise different ways of understanding things, different ways of executing things. Mixing cultures is actually a way of understanding the world differently, which enhances the approach of one, and it results in different points of view. So instead of saying one thing is correct, it's objectified, you have a subjective view. Instead of saying that this is completely correct, you could potentially say, well, maybe I'm wrong. What if I have to look at something else differently? And it enhances the way we execute things, which is against the first thing, which was to stick with one execution you operate, or over here we're going with the different ones. We're going to talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of intermixing of cultures. The advantages are many. And they have been stated before. You get new perspectives. You get new ways of executing things. You get new ways of understanding things. Instead of sticking with one way of things, you could say, well, I'm wrong and I can go with the other path. I can go with the other way of doing it, which might be better. The way of executing things is when you change it, you have different perspective, you have different results, which is way better than having a single result. And the disadvantage is, I think the disadvantage is mostly emotional. You go against what was culture, what was traditional, what something your fathers, your forefathers did. It's only emotional. You will get a tinge of, you might get a tear in your eye, and that's it. Nothing more than that. But yeah, those are the disadvantages and the advantages.
Hold your horses because now we have cars. Alright, that was a joke. But really, the major change today is how near everything has become. You could be sitting in a remote town somewhere, yet still know what's trending across the world. The language I'm using right now isn't even native to us, yet here we are understanding each other perfectly. How did this happen? Acceptance of other cultures, accelerated by the biggest force alive today. Technology, media, and the internet have merged everything faster than anything in history. Here's another perspective on that connection. Interview with Humayun, Technology and the Change in Culture.
To me, technology and change in culture means how our values, lifestyles, and even the way we think have completely evolved due to the digital world. Technology isn't about just devices anymore, it's become a part of who we are. The way we communicate, think, and learn has completely changed, and so has our sense of culture. Cultures are no longer limited by geography, but they are completely changing and remixing themselves now. So, due to the technology and advancements of technological era. Social media has made it possible for traditions to travel faster than ever. Uh, People can celebrate a tradition or a culture just through a hashtag nowadays, but it also changes the way we look at culture. For like, sometimes it's more about a trend than meaning. Uh, but I still think it's beautiful how people can actually learn, appreciate, and share each other's culture.
What even is our culture anymore? Is it the one we inherited or the one we keep reshaping every time we scroll, speak, dress, or dream? Maybe culture was never meant to stay still. Maybe we are not losing it, we are just proving that it never truly belonged to anyone in the first place. Because if everything around us changes and we keep changing with it, then perhaps the only culture that exists today is change itself.